Hey guys, welcome to the second episode of The Dead Speak. I'm your host, DJ Deadman, and today I've got quite the exciting show, I would think. Today we're focusing more on entertainment news in the Oscar nomination. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. But for now, we're going to get started with some music. Here we go. We're going to start with Waiting for Love by Avicii. I'll see you guys in just a second. Hello, guys, and welcome back to the show. Hold on. I'm keeping the Twitch viewers in check. There you go. Anyway, that was Avicii. Second song was Addicted to You. First one was Waiting for Love. Sorry for double playing an artist there. I know that's not really a radio thing, but Avicii is one of my favorite artists. Anyway, how y'all doing today? Wonderful day. The cold just kind of finally stopped around here. It's still pretty cool, but, compared to the past few days, today has been pretty good. Anyway, so like I said at the beginning, we are going to be talking about some Oscar nominations. So, what do y'all think about the Oscars? I'm not sure if as many people care about them as they used to. I personally still do. I love the Oscars. I love movies in general. When I was trying to decide what I wanted to do for the show, I was in between like the news commentary thing that I'm doing right now, and as well as the, just talking about movies in general. I wanted to do like movie reviews. That would have been pretty cool. But anyway, I'm charging my phone, so unfortunately, I'm not going to be in view because I'm charging it, but that's where I have the results. So I do apologize, but let me put on the main screen here. Sorry about that. Anyway, so I want to start off talking about the music category. I know everyone wants to know about the best picture, best director, and all that kind of stuff, but I think talking about music might be a bit better because it's all the craze right now, especially one of the movies that we're talking about. So for original score, we have Don't Look Up, Dune, Encanto, Parallel Mothers, and The Power of Dog. The original score. Now, if you have been on social media lately, YouTube, TikTok, you name it, you probably have seen Encanto songs everywhere, especially between We Don't Talk About Bruno, as well as I can't remember the name of the song, but the one with the older sister, the very strong one. Those two songs have been kind of making the rounds all over the internet. So I kind of feel like Encanto's gonna win, if I'm being completely honest. I know Dune has a pretty good soundtrack. Whatchamacallit, the original score was done by Hans Zimmer, who has done a lot of work. He's kind of like, I would say, ranked 2 in movie composers, right under John Williams, to be honest. Can you really be John Williams? Let's be honest here. You can't. But now we go on to music of original song. So this is where we get a little bit more specific. So we have Be Alive from King Richard. I do apologize if I pronounce this wrong. My Spanish is pretty horrible, but Dos Orguitas from Encanto. That song was made by Lin-Manuel Miranda, by the way, same guy who made Hamilton. Be Alive, I forgot to mention this. Be Alive was made with Beyonce as well as Dixon. I'm not familiar with Dixon, unfortunately. Next nomination, Down to Joy from the movie Belfast. Music by Van Morrison. Then we have No Time to Die from Billie Eilish and Phoenix O'Connell. I'm not a big fan of Billie Eilish, to be 100% honest with you guys, but I do like her song from No Time to Die. It's pretty good. And then Somehow You Do from the movie 4 Good Days. Music and lyrics by Deanne Warren. Similar situation to original score. I feel like Encanto is going to win just because of how popular it is. Don't get me wrong, the music's pretty good, but I just have a feeling. I mean, it is Disney, so what do you expect? But I would really want No Time to Die to win. Like if I had the choice, I would definitely want. I would prefer Encanto to win original score over original song. Um, I don't think they'll pick Encanto for both. I could be wrong though, but I feel like they won't. And if I had to put money on which one Encanto would win, I would probably say original score over original song. Now let's head up to Best Pictures. We actually have a good amount of nominations here. We have Belfast, Coda, Don't Look Up, Drive My Car, Dune, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, and West Side Story. Okay, quite a bit of choices here. West Side Story, classic. It's like a modern Romeo and Juliet. If you haven't really heard of West Side Story, then you probably should watch it. It's like one of those stories that everyone needs to know at some point in their lives. It's basically Romeo and Juliet, but with greasers and gangs and stuff like that. Directed by Steven Spielberg, one of my personal favorite directors. I don't think it would be Best Picture, personally. Again, I just want to clarify. When I say I don't think something would win, it's not because I hate it. I don't hate them. I think all these movies deserve to be in the nomination. But I just have my preferences, just like everybody. I'm not too familiar with Licorice Pizza or Nightmare Alley. These are the first times that I've even heard about those movies, to be 100 with you guys. Power of the Dog, that can be seen on Netflix. It's all right. King Richard is a good one. I was a tennis player in high school. Most of my audience probably knows me, so they probably already know that. But King Richard is pretty good. It's got Will Smith. It's about the Williams, Serena and Venus, but it has a focus more on their father than the actual tennis stars. And you would think that would be a bad idea, like on the surface, but trust me, the movie is way better than you think it would be. I definitely do think it deserves to be a nomination. Now, whether or not it wins, I'm not sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if it did. Dune, I'm going to be honest, I haven't watched it yet. Not because I don't want to. I am currently reading the book. And I am one of those book people who would want to read the book first. So that's the only reason I haven't seen it yet. I heard good things about it. I also heard some bad things. I know some people are disappointed that Zendaya isn't in the movie for that long. If you read the book, you would know why. So it's not exactly a decision that the filmmakers made. This is something that is in the book. So just to let y'all know that. However, I do think it could win Best Picture. Again, I haven't watched it, so I can't exactly say fairly. But I think it has a good chance. Don't Look Up. That's an interesting one because it's kind of like this Armageddon movie about a meteor, almost like Armageddon. But it's more on the comedic side. It's almost not really like a straight up comedy. It's more like making fun of how modern politicians would react to this kind of stuff. It's almost like satire. It is satire. I'm gonna put it that way. So it is a little surprising that I got nominated for Best Picture. I won't lie. I wouldn't expect a satirical comedy to be there. And Belfast and Coda, again, those are movies that I haven't heard of, to be 100% honest with you guys. So I can't really say too much about them. But that's what I know about the Best Picture. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. If you're watching on Twitch, message right there. I can see it live as well as on the app. But yeah, we're going to have to go into a music break. So I do apologize. We'll come back with more nominations as well as more of yours truly opinion on what it is. But for now, here is Coldplay excuse me. This is Paradise by Coldplay. Sorry about that. And we're back. Hello, guys. How you doing? No, it's been a couple minutes, but, enough time has passed for some major announcements. I don't actually have any announcements, but, Anyway, let's continue our conversation on Oscar nominations. So now let's start talking about the actors and actresses of these movies. Now, I won't lie, this year has been kind of slow on movies. The pandemic hasn't exactly helped, but you know how it is. There's still been a couple movies. I mean, this isn't really Oscar talk, but have you guys seen how much money Spider-Man No Way Home has made? It's I haven't checked recently, but I think about 2 or 3 days ago, it was like only a small amount away from beating Avatar, the top grossing movie of all time. Which, to be honest, I have no clue how that movie became the top grossing movie. Nothing against it, it's a pretty good movie. But it's just like, I can't remember a single line from that movie or a name, and yet somehow it made the most money. Anyway, that's enough of non-Oscar talk. Let's actually get into the nominations. So now let's talk about actor in a leading role. There's a couple nominations here, all good, by the way. I was looking at it, and this is going to be a hard one. So we've got Javier Bardem in Being the Ricardos, Benedict Cumberbatch in The Power of the Dog, Andrew Garfield in Tick, Tick, Boom, Will Smith in King Richard, and Denzel Washington in The Tragedy of Macbeth. Now, what a lineup that is. There's just so many good choices. I don't think any of these are a bad choice. I think very well any of them could win. Personally, I would have to put it between Benedict Cumberbatch, Will Smith, and Denzel Washington. Will Smith is amazing, an amazing actor. I know he usually does sometimes he does comedic stuff, but like when it gets real with him. He's been in a lot of good movies, The Pursuit of Happiness. You have a couple of episodes from, what's that show that he was in? Bel Air, The Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Sorry, I shouldn't have forgotten that. But those few episodes, like with his dad when he came in the show, amazing acting. So he's pretty good. And Benedict Cumberbatch, amazing. He plays Doctor Strange, but he's in The Power of the Dog. I'm sure he did a good job. Javier Bardem and Andrew Garfield, they're pretty good, but I don't. Javier Bardem could get it. Andrew Garfield, he did a good job. I don't know if he did better than Will Smith, Denzel, or Benedict. Oh, I didn't even talk about Denzel. I mean, Denzel is another amazing actor in like any movie he appears in. I haven't seen The Tragedy of Macbeth, but I think it's based on the Shakespeare play. But Denzel does amazing in every movie. So it's good competition here for actor in leading role. Good competition. Let's go to actress in leading role. So here we have Jessica Chastain in The Eyes of Tammy Faye, Olivia Colman from The Lost Daughter, Penelope Cruz from Parallel Mothers, Nicole Kidman from Being the Ricardos, and Kristen Stewart in Spencer. I know one of my friends wants Kristen Stewart to win. I could see why. I saw some clips the other day, and not bad. Pretty good. Penelope Cruz, though, that's a good one. Again, I just think, this year, even though there wasn't that many, like, good movies that came out due to the pandemic, this is still some good competition, especially in the acting roles. Like, both female-led actors and male-led actors, both of them are, like, heavy competitions. I have no clue, honestly. Let's go to support, because we're running low on time here. Actor in supporting role. I really do apologize if I'm pronouncing any of these names wrong. We have Clorraine Hinds from Belfast, Troy Kotsur from Coda, Jesse Plemons from The Power of the Dog, J.K. Simmons from Being the Ricardos, and Cody Smith-McPhee from The Power of the Dog. My guy, J.K. Simmons, needs to win this. He's amazing in a lot of stuff. For those of you who may not know, he plays Omni-Man in the new Amazon The Invincible show. He played, what's his name? J. Jonah Jameson from Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3. And he even made a return for the new Spider-Man. So this guy, he's been in a lot of comic book movies. But he's still a good actor, amazing actor. I would love him to win. Actress in supporting role, we have Jessie Buckley from The Lost Daughter, Ariana DeBose from West Side Story, Judi Dench from Belfast, Kristen Dunst, MJ from Spider-Man, by the way, for The Power of the Dog, and Anujuan Ellis. Hold on. Ayun Janwe Ellis from King Richard. Again, I sincerely apologize if I'm pronouncing that wrong. But, another good lineup. I would have to be between Miss Ellis from King Richard. I cannot pronounce her first name. I do apologize. And Kristen Dunst. Both of them were pretty good. And animated feature film. This is going to be another hard one. We have Encanto, Flea, Luca, The Michelles versus the Machines, and Raya and the Last Dragon. I'm going to straight up say, I didn't like Raya and the Last Dragon. I think the lesson it was trying to teach was kind of dumb. Not going to lie. Without getting too spoilery here, one character was right, the other character was wrong, but the movie kind of makes it seem like the one who was wrong was right. So it is what it is. Michelle's vs. the Machines, fun ride. Don't think it should win animated film. Flea, I haven't heard of it, to be honest. Now, Encanto and Luca is going to be a good face-off right there. I honestly do not know who would win between those two, to be completely honest with you. So it's going to be a good one. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Encanto's going to win. Popularity, it is what it is. But I really want Luca to win, like, to be 100% honest with you guys. Man. Anyway, we're running out of time, unfortunately. We're going to have to go to a music break. But before that, here are some promos. Welcome back, everybody. That was Eclipse from Pink Floyd. Man, I really wish I could just straight up play the entire album, to be completely honest. But I see that we got a new follower, Codenate. Mr. Bravo, you're watching. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone watching, actually. Currently, I'm looking at the Twitch chat, but I can totally move to the radio, see if anyone has messaged anyone else. Nope, we have no messages. That's completely fine. We've already gone through some of the main ones. I would love to go through all of the Oscar nominations, but that would take too much time. So I'm going to take this as the next segue to talk about movies in general and what were some really good movies. So for that, we can actually turn back the camera on right here. Right there. Hello. Ignore my beard. I know it's unkept. So anyway, let's talk movies. There's so many good ones out there. So many. I can't even begin to even debate or even like try and figure out which movies are my favorite. Because I think of it as like categories, you know? So let's talk about that. So let's talk into an interesting conversation that people are starting to have, and that's comic book movies in the Oscars, in these like awards for movies. There's not a lot of them, very few, not a lot though, and people are starting to have the conversation of, are comic book movies, if that makes sense? Obviously they're movies, but can you call them films? Can you call them cinema? So let's talk about that, can we? I think you can. Honestly, you can. And to anyone who doesn't think so, why not? I get it, though. A lot of these sort of award shows, whether it's the Oscars, Golden Globes, the list goes on. They all usually want to have like these artsy movies, these movies that kind of talk about the human soul or have these gut-wrenching, dramatic stories. They want to leave the viewer with something, and that's all fine and dandy. Those movies are great. I'm not saying anything's wrong with them, but a movie just needs to tell a story. And you may not consider a comic book movie as artsy, but it is if you really think about it. There is a whole team of people working on every single one. I get it, it's not everyone's cup of tea. And, the Marvel movies have been slowly getting to a point where they're kind of dragging on a little bit. I'm not going to lie. After the whole Endgame spiel, I'm not really paying attention. I was only paying attention to Spider-Man. Right after that, I kind of stopped. I'm probably gonna watch Multiverse of Madness, but from there, I'm not really that versed. I don't really care for it as much as I did. Now over on the DC side, there have been some very good DC movies, and by very good, I mainly mean Batman movies. The Dark Knight is a straight up masterpiece. Like, you have to watch it, even if you're not a fan of comic book movies. The Dark Knight has to be the exception. Has to be. It's just so well made. You got great actors. You got Christian Bale. You got Joker. It's perfection. Perfection, I tell you. Heath Ledger, he was the Joker in that movie. Like, he was scary at times. It is unfortunate. I hope he rests in peace. But he made the character, the soundtrack, the story. You know, not a lot of people think about it, but Joker kind of won in that movie. He made Harvey Dent go insane, essentially, and forced Batman to pretty much put him down. So he kind of won, and he like outplayed Batman. Like, not a lot of people think about that. But yeah, Dark Knight, masterpiece. I had a professor who it was a film class. We had to like write papers in films on films, excuse me, and she gave us the choice to do one about a director, and we had to choose 4 films. And I chose Christopher Nolan. He's one of my favorites. He directed The Dark Knight. He also directed things like Inception, Dunkirk, Interstellar. Recently, he did Tenet. All great movies, by the way. I wanted to talk about Dark Knight, but in the paper, she put no comic book movies, and I was so disappointed. So disappointed. I was really pumped to do that, but unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. Unfortunately, but I still got a pretty good score on that paper. And other recent news, still kind of related to movies, the second trailer for Buzz Lightyear came out. Boy, I don't know how I feel about this movie. I think it's super unnecessary, but at the same time, like, I'm sorry, I gotta just do something on my phone here. I do apologize. How unprofessional. But I don't know how I feel about that movie. It looks so good. It's so unnecessary. It's not like Toy Story. So he's not really, at least to my knowledge, he's not like a toy. I'm sure there's going to be like a movie theory about it that he's still a toy and whatnot. But, you know, it looks good. We kind of got a bit of the story. I guess him and his team have been marooned on this planet. So that's kind of, they're trying to leave it. And we got to see Zurg in the trailer. So there's a lot of hope going for this movie. And great choice of a trailer song. Starman from David Bowie was literally the perfect song that they could have used. I love that song. In fact, we got to get to a music break, and we're going to play, you guessed it, Starman from David Bowie. What's up, guys? Welcome back. I know, pretty good song. That was No Time to Die from Billie Eilish. And yeah, today we talked about movies, so why don't we segue to another movie-related topic, James Bond. No Time to Die got a few nominations, not too many. I think about 2 or 3. We talked about 2 of them, I think. But a more interesting question. Who's going to be the next James Bond? So as many of you may or may not know, Daniel Craig has officially decided to retire the mantle. He has officially decided to move on and have someone else pick up the James Bond role. So anyone who likes James Bond has been asking who the heck, I said heck, is going to be the next 007. So we have a lot of interesting theories, interesting selections from fans, and even a couple of official people who have said they're looking into some. So Henry Cavill has been someone that many have been interested to see as the secret agent. Now, personally, I think he would be good. He's kind of buff. James Bond is not that buff, but I still think he could do it. It would be interesting to see him as James Bond. But my favorite choice, to be 100% honest with all of you, and one that they have, my hair looks crazy, one that they've officially been talking about is Idris Alba. If you don't know who Idris Alba is, it played the guy from the new Suicide Squad movie, Bloodsport. He was kind of the leader. He didn't want to be. He's the one who put Superman in the hospital, according to the movie. Yeah, everyone has their own opinions about Suicide Squad, including me. I can make a whole segment talking about why I love the new one and why I don't like the other one, but I think that's a topic for another time. But getting back on topic, Idris Alba is supposedly being discussed as potentially getting the role. I think he would do good. I love Idris Alba. He's one of my favorite actors, one of the best British actors, I think. He's just so cool. He's just so cool. I love him in so many things. I really do hope he gets it. Those are the main two that I know of that have been in the talk. I think I heard someone even mention a Chris Evans, which, to be honest, would kind of be silly. In my opinion, I can't imagine Chris Evans as James Bond. But Henry Cavill and Idris Alba are the two main ones, I think, that are kind of up in the air. Well, Henry Cavill is. Idris Alba has been confirmed as one of the people that the filmmakers are discussing. And it's amazing that James Bond is still going on today. That is such an old franchise. Like, a lot of people talk about how there's like way too many Star Wars movies or way too many Marvel movies. Like, have you seen the James Bond catalog? Like, albeit, like, to be fair, 100% fair, the James Bond movies are all different. They're not they're not connected like, the Marvel movies, Star Wars movies. So I guess in a way you can make that argument. They're not connected. But like, there's so many. Like, it's almost ridiculous. It's amazing to know that there has been that many different storylines. There have been repeats, I think. There have been a couple of movies that kind of had the same storyline. They're kind of remakes. Let's see. Apparently, let's see. There are 25 films of James Bond. That's a lot. And 25 James Bond movies. And you also have to consider that they're already looking into making more. If they're looking for a new James Bond, they're looking to hire a new person. So it looks like the character isn't dying. And what's funny is that there was actually a news story. This was back when Daniel Craig first said he was going to retire. This was a couple months ago, so this isn't exactly new. But he was asked whether he'd want a woman to take the role, and he said no. Now, he didn't say no because he's against women, which a lot of kind of people showed or assumed. He said that he thinks that a woman shouldn't play James Bond because they should have their own iconic role, just as good or even greater than James Bond. And I have to say, that's true. Like, I'm not a big fan when they change a character completely. The same thing kind of happened in the new Black Widow movie. They kind of changed the gender of the bad guy, Taskmaster. It kind of pissed off a lot of fans. I, for one, I wouldn't say I'm a fan of Taskmaster. I do think he's pretty cool, though. I loved him in Marvel vs. Capcom, the video game. They changed his gender, and they got rid of all his character, which is the one that I have a problem with. That's the part that I have a problem with. I don't really, to me, it doesn't matter if they decide to change the gender, unless it's like a super iconic person. Like, let's say they just made Peter Parker a girl for no reason. Then that would be a problem. Like, if you want a girl Spider-Man, like, show a Spider-Gwen or something. She's really cool. Anyway, back on topic with Taskmaster. They got rid of his personality. He had the power to kind of copy moves in the comics, and it's because he knew, like, he had, like, this ability to, like, look at things, and then he'd be able to, like, copy, Iron Man's repulsor blast, you got Hawkeye's bow, stuff like that. In the movie, however, he kind of has his own suit that kind of does it for her, excuse me, I'm sorry. In the movie, it's a her. She has her own suit that kind of does it for her. So that kind of takes away the magic. But anyway, I know that this isn't exactly a satisfying ending, but unfortunately, we run out of time. Time passes when you're having fun. I totally wish I could continue this, but it is what it is. So I just want to say thank you guys for watching this episode. Thank you, Coordinate, which I know it's you, Mr. Bravo, Cody, for subscribing, as well as all my friends. I've got a lot of subscribers in my last show, so I do hope we keep it going. Tune in every single Friday at 4 p.m. for The Dead Speak with me, yours truly, DJ Deadman. But for now, it's time to say goodbye, and we're going to go ahead and end things off with I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight by The Cutting Crew. Hope you guys enjoy.